Pawn to e4. Pawn to c6. Pawn to d4. Pawn to d5. Knight to d2. Pawn captures on d4. Knight captures on e4. Knight to d7. Knight to g5. Knight to gf6. Bishop to d3. Pawn to e6. Knight to 1f3. Bishop to d6. Kingside castling. Pawn to h6. Knight to e4. Knight captures on e4. Bishop captures on e4. Kingside castling. Pawn to c3. Pawn to e5. Bishop to c2. Rook to e8. Rook to e1. Pawn captures on ed4. Rook captures on e8, check. Queen captures on e8. Queen captures on d4. Queen to e7. Bishop to f4. Bishop captures on f4. Queen captures on f4. Knight to f8. Rook to e1. Bishop to e6. Knight to d4. Rook to d8. Pawn to h4. Queen to c5. Rook to e3. Queen to d6. Knight captures on e6. Pawn captures on phase 6. Queen to g4. Queen to d2. Bishop to b3. King to h8. Rook to e2. Queen to d6. Pawn to g3. Pawn to a6. King to g2. Rook to e8. Rook to e3. Rook to e7. Rook to f3. Rook to d7. Queen to h5. Queen to e7. Queen to e5. Rook to d8. Pawn to a4. Pawn to b5. Queen to e4. Queen to d7. Rook to f4. Pawn to c5. Queen to f3. Queen to d6. Pawn captures on f5. Pawn captures on f5. Rook to f7. Rook to b8. Rook to a7. Pawn to b4. Bishop to c2. Pawn captures on bc3. Pawn captures on bc3. Queen to e5. Rook to f7. Knight to h7. Queen to g4. King to g8. Rook to e7. Knight to f8. Queen to f3. Pawn to c4. Bishop to e4. King to h8. Bishop to c6. Knight to h7. Queen to f7. Knight to f8. Rook to e8. Rook captures on e8. Bishop captures on e8. Knight to h7. Bishop to d7. Knight to f6. Bishop captures on e6. Pawn to h5. Bishop captures on c4. Queen to e4, check. King to h2. King to h7. Queen to e6. Queen to f3. Queen to e1. Knight to g4, check. King to g1. Queen to c6. Bishop to d3, check. Pawn to g6. Queen to e7, check. King to h6. Bishop to e4. Queen to b6. Queen to f8, check. King to h7. Queen to f7, check. King to h6. Pawn to c4. Queen to a6. Pawn to c5. For more interesting chess games, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you learned in the comments.